Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to present what we are working on in our region of Upper Rhine. I'll speak first, but then Anouk will do best the cross-border part afterward. So I'll present first what is an energy community. As you can see on the picture, it's something very fun and very attractive because everyone is taking part in the projects, and this is the most important thing for us, that we can open the projects, the participations to a lot of people. So it becomes the project of everyone, for everyone. And you just presented me, so I will be quick, but I am working in an association, Alter Alsace Energie, in this small region in the east of France. And as you can see, we have a lot of border with Germany and also with Switzerland. So the cross-border work is very important to us, and that is why we are happy to share it with you today. Our association works with a lot of different kind of publics to help them understand energy, spare energy, and of course produce renewable energy. And we are specifically working with energy communities since 2018, because we try to link together all the citizen energy initiatives so that they can better develop and better produce energy. So the first question is, what is an energy community? And I am sorry for this big slide with a lot of text, but the beginning of energy community is a European definition. In the clean energy package, the European Union proposes two definitions of energy community in two different directives. The first one being a renewable energy community, the second citizen energy community. So it's a bit confusing at first, and it's not that convenient to have two different definitions, but actually they are quite similar. The idea is a legal entity. So you have a moral person, a legal entity, an association, a company, whatever you want to create, your legal vehicle, that can be an energy community. The most important things are that your members are natural persons, small or medium enterprise, sometimes bigger enterprise, just for citizen energy community, and municipalities, local authorities, because you want to create an entity where all the people of the territory around your project can participate in. Because participation must be open and voluntary. So it must be open to everyone, and you cannot be forced to join. This is very interesting to have something open to everyone. And then the most important thing is the control. The control of the legal entity must be by members, and a small specification of renewable energy community is that they are located in the proximity of the renewable energy projects. It means that in a renewable energy community, you have the people living near the projects that can control the energy community. The important thing is that the people near the projects decide how the projects can be done. And then the very primary purpose of an energy community cannot be money. The primary purpose must be to provide environmental and economic or social benefits for the members of the community. So we don't want to speculate on renewable energy, we want to offer services to members, energy services. Then the small differences between the two definitions is about the activities. A renewable energy community can produce, consume, store, share renewable energy, whereas a citizen energy community is more focused on electricity. So it can generate, distribute, supply, consume, aggregate electricity, store it, and then it can also propose energy services. It can be efficiency services, it means like sparing energy, or charging services for vehicles, or other energy services. So it's more broad in a sense, but also centered on electricity. Those are minor difference, because the most important thing about energy community is that it is controlled by members, and the first purpose is to propose benefits to members. The idea is that the people around the projects, the municipalities around the projects, can decide how renewable energy will be developed on their territory. I hope it is clear, and please do not hesitate to ask questions. We'll have a session about questions afterwards, but if something's not clear, please let me know. The benefits can be as well financial. It means that, for example, your energy community install solar panels and then sells the electricity, and the benefits can go to the members. So you have financial benefits. But another possibility is that the electricity produced is shared among members. So you can benefit from the electricity produced by your installation. As well as I said, charging vehicles, sparing electricity and everything. So the most important thing is that it is controlled by the people around the project, and it benefits to the people around the project. It is a way to develop renewable energy and respect the population that live with those projects. A focus on what exists at the European level to help energy community. The Federation of Renewable Energy Source Cooperatives, called RESCOPE, propose a lot of tools to help the emergence of energy communities. As you can see, they have a lot of members all around Europe, and I hope there'll soon be also members from Poland and Czechia. And you have a very good guide to create your own energy community of energy with all examples possible and all tools possible. So it's a very good way to begin to be introduced to energy communities. And as to exactly know how energy communities develop in Europe, RESCOPE proposed a tracker to know if the definition, the European definition of energy communities is well developed in all member countries, because the European directive is one thing, but then the national transposition of those energy community are another one. As you can see, they put some color for each country to know if each country has defined what is an energy community, and also if they propose a good framework for the development of energy communities, so that you can more easily develop your own energy community in your country. And we can see a first issue on this map. apparently Poland and Czechia don't have the same enabling framework for energy communities. So maybe you can go to your government and ask them to put new laws in place so that energy community are easier to develop, as well in Poland as in Czechia. Yeah, that's it for me from now. And then I leave the floor to Anouk, if it's okay.
Hi, hello. So I'm Anouk from Mission Opérationnelle Transfrontalière, and I'll continue by presenting you what are the cross-border energy communities. So first of all, this the cross-border energy community framework was studied by the European Commission and is based on the recognition within the two directives Colin just mentioned right before that recognize energy communities. And so there are energy communities open to cross-border participation. So this is kind of still of a new concept since the directive have been put into place in each country. We've seen just right before on the map regarding the transportation tracker. Not every country in Europe, when they put into place a directive, recognize explicitly cross-border participation and the availability of cross-border participation in energy communities in their own country. So establishing these is very different across the framework for establishing these across Europe is very different, and some countries are more open or easier to implement such community. So next slide, please. Or I could share, but first of all, the definition on cross-border energy communities is based on the definition of renewable energy communities and citizen energy communities, but we will define two kinds of cross-border energy communities. The one that are fully cross-border, meaning that the participation, the governance is based on both sides of the borders, with stakeholders involved from both sides in each border region. The energy activities as well. So as mentioned before, the energy activities of the community can be energy distribution and energy supply, but also the promotion of energy services across the region. And if those activities are happening on both sides of the border, we will consider them as a cross-border energy communities. On the other hand, since the concept is still very new, when the European Commission studied the framework of energy communities, they decided to also study what we can call quasi-cross-border energy communities, to regard them as a step before a fully integrated cross-border energy community. So this would be like communities established on both sides of a border region, but where either the management or the funding only is cross borders, because depending on each national law, the cross-border participation is not always fully possible. The financing of activity from the other side is not always possible. So when one side of this is not, we'll consider them as quasi-cross-border energy communities. Time by time, with the integration on the directive further by each country, this could allow the framework for cross-border energy community to grow, and from cross-border energy community to become fully integrated. So for the activities that cross-border energy community can implement, there will be the same one as energy community. So you will have the cross-border generation, distribution, supply, consumption of energy, aggregation of energy, energy storage, energy efficiency services. Some community will focus on producing energy and then developing charging services for electric vehicle to benefit from the world border region, and other energy services. So some energy community will focus primarily on providing and promoting energy sustainable services. On the next slide, you will see the benefits of implementing a quasi or cross-border energy community. So once again, they are very similar to energy community themselves, but they are also a way to contribute to the energy union by fully integrating the energy and the energy law on both sides of the country. You can also really gain some efficiency gain and economic gains and benefits from linking distribution system across the borders. You can also create some independency and resilience for the border region by directly having energy supply from the other side of the borders. It also complements other cross-border cooperation initiative as you are working with stakeholders from both sides of the borders. It creates jobs and businesses in the region, and all of the businesses development based on the energy supply or generation. It reduces dependency on import and centralized energy supply based on fossil energy sources or on larger scale energy, even electrical energy sources. And also it creates a pool of knowledge and technology within the border region. So this can be linked to the term of new development opportunity for the region. But since these energy communities happen in a cross-border framework, they are facing a lot of obstacles to be implemented and to be setting up. Most of them are the legal obstacle. Currently, with the Mission Opérationnelle Transfrontalière and the DG Regio, the European Commission, we are supporting a project to set up cross-border energy communities. And the one we saw the most are the legal obstacles, and they faced mostly by the disruption of the grid between two countries. On top of that, we also encounter administrative obstacles. There are physical or technical difficulties, and they're not the majority of them, but you can also encounter financial obstacle or governance and management obstacle when you're setting cross-border energy communities. I'll develop the obstacle a bit more on the next slide. So the legal obstacle, as I said, are mainly focused on the connection on the distribution systems between two countries. And to overcome those, most of the time, stakeholders decide either to lobby directly at the EU level or to find framework when they can allow the cooperation and the cooperation to overcome this obstacle. When you are facing legal obstacles, they are more regarding the governance structures. One tool to overcome them can be also to create a cross-border entity to manage the energy community. So it can be the European grouping of territorial cooperation, but they are also form of cross-border entities. So it can be European Society Cooperative, it can be the European Investment Corporation, the European Economic Interest Grouping, that is also a cross-border tool to involve private entity as well as public ones. The main obstacle, as I was saying, yes, is the incomplete transposition of the legislation, even though those are directives, which mean they are supposed to be transposed in each country in Europe in the same way and allow for this cross-border cooperation. But for now, it's not always the case. Energy community can face administrative obstacles, mostly caused by the lack of cross-border cooperation between national administration, between local administration as well, or due to the lack of national agency with energy policy responsibilities that tackle the cross-border component of cooperation on energy. One very concrete obstacle energy community face as well is a physical or technical obstacle relating from the lack of connection between the grids, since energy communities mostly connect through a smaller grid than the energy cooperation, so the energy cross-border cooperation grid that already exists connection. Or the technical challenges related to setting energy communities. And on the other side, they can also face socioeconomic or sociocultural obstacles due to differences in cultural differences, the lack of funding, the lack of social acceptance in the border region. And the cultural differences can be linked to the administrative obstacle as well. For some communities, we see that this takes the form of a lack of a difference between the definition of what is an energy community. So two countries don't have the same meaning for what is the citizen participation, and this will then make the setting of an energy community more difficult, since the question of what is citizen participation is not the same in both border regions. Most of these benefits and obstacles were addressed and studied in a study made by the European Commission called the Handbook on Cross-Border Energy Communities. It was published in January 2025, and the Commission studies a framework for implementing energy communities, cross-border energy communities across Europe. What are the obstacles, the benefits? What are the main and best framework of governance cooperation to set an energy communities? They also add country analysis with an annex with border fishes, where they study the framework for each country to set up energy communities, cross-border energy communities. So there is a border fish on the cooperation between Poland and Czechia, and about how the existing framework is regarding the legal framework, but also regarding the financing available to set up cross-border energy communities. What are the energy agencies to support the setting up of cross-border energy communities between Czechia and Poland? And what are the partnerships already existing or available as well? The handbook also provides steps to put into place an energy communities. Most of the time, the energy communities, when looking to develop across borders, start. So the handbook study what are the entry points for creating a cross-border energy communities. Most of the time, when a community decides to become cross-border or to set it across the borders, they start from three entry points. Either they have a cross-border cooperation beforehand, they are interested in expanding the cooperation in energy, or they are a community of an energy initiative on one side of the borders and are interested in becoming a cross-border energy community. Or either there can be also two separate energy community. Great. I'll continue with the next slide then. I'll start. I'll repeat what I was saying, but I'll start on the next slide. So when setting cross-border energy communities, usually people start with three kind of entry points on how to set up a cross-border energy community. So either they have an existing cross-border cooperation, and they are interested in expanding it to the energy sector, and so they build on that. Or they are an energy community set on one side of the borders and are interested in developing a cross-border energy communities and to expand across the border. Or they are sometimes two energy communities set each one of them in a border region and are looking to build a cooperation across the borders. So depending on each framework you will start from, you will encounter different kind of obstacles, but you will also have a good basis for cooperation in each set. So the handbook study the existing cross-border energy communities and quasi-cross-border energy communities in Europe. So this is the image on the right side of the screen. And they analyze 24 cases across Europe that are sharing energy across border or energy services, and that have different level of integration. And those projects were set up across different framework of cooperation. So some are based on Interreg project, others were based on cooperation governance structures between energy agencies, for example. Other are from LIFE program, or other benefit also from a bigger framework like the connecting energy facilities, especially this is a case of the district heating system in Görlitz between Poland and Germany. On the left side of the screen, you have the pilot action on quasi and cross-border energy community. The Mission Operational Transparency is supporting across the cross-border energy communities project. And so we are accompanying them in supporting them in setting up or developing their energy communities. And they each start from different level of development. So some are very new to the cooperation. Others are energy communities on two sides of a border looking to cooperate, either want to further integrate the energy communities, or they are fully implementing or operational already, which is the case on the one on the Spain and Spanish Portugal, which is already an energy society, a European society cooperative, and which is a quasi cross-border community, since then they can't distribute energy from across the borders. So they decided to either produce the energy and with it to implement a sharing vehicle system, so the energy can benefit the community on both sides of the borders through that in a vehicle sharing system. We are also supporting a project between Poland and Germany. And we know that the main obstacle they face for now is this problem of definitions, since the citizen involvement in Poland is not the same as in Germany. And so it's much more restrictive in Poland to be involved as a citizen in an energy community. And this then make the cooperation on the setting of a cross-border energy community where the definition are shared and more difficult. And so they're looking to build a legal analysis and to build a framework where they could involve citizens in another way, so they can build this energy community with the same actors on both sides. On the next slide, please. Yeah, so we're coming to an end of the presentation. Just before letting the calling back again on the screen, I just wanted to say that so cross-border energy communities in Europe, when you are looking to set them up, you can start from different entry points. You don't have to fully directly decide to set a full cross-border energy communities. You can just start by either working on developing the legal framework or the administrative framework for cooperation. You can look to improve cooperation on a spatial planning point of view, so it's to facilitate the energy cooperation on both sides. You can also look to revise existing bilateral or local agreements on cross-border energy cooperation to include the possibility of setting up cross-border energy communities. You can also look for national guidance to recognize and to set up or look around on the organizational structures, the legal form that can take cross-border entities, so such as since energy community can take various forms, such as cooperative, non-profit, foundation, and in a cross-border context, it can be a European grouping of territorial cooperation, European economic interest grouping, European cooperative society. So there are different toolbox to have to set the governance for cross-border energy communities. You can also focus on studies first before implementing the energy on adapting technical standards to cross-border transmission and distribution, to study the equipment specification on both sides, and to evaluate the technical compatibility to ensure that infrastructure and investment across country are functional for the future cross-border energy community. And finally, you can also look for funding and public funding and build the capacity building for cross-border energy community. So now I will let Colin back present some example of cross-border energy community or energy community in Alsace that are working on the other side of the borders. So thank you for.
Thank you very much, Anouk. Yeah, as Anouk said, I can present two examples we have in our region. Just to show the map, sorry. Here we are in east of France, and Germany and France have a long history with citizen energy. Germany has a longer history even, but also we had citizen energy before the energy community directives. And fortunately, we have we have frameworks that are similar. The citizens in both Germany and France were interested in developing renewable energy projects, and in both countries, some citizens went together, created private companies to invest in renewable energy projects. In Germany, there are all cooperatives. In France, some are cooperatives, some are not. But it means that one of the obstacles Anouk just talked about is not that important on our border, because the frameworks are similar. We have private companies that are owned by citizens and municipalities that develop renewable energy projects on both sides of the border. And this is how this project, Altora, was created. Énergie partagée en Alsace is a cooperative in France that was established in 2008. And FESA Geno, Geno is for Genossenschaft. Genossenschaft means cooperative. FESA Geno is also a cooperative established in 2011 in Freiburg, just on the other side of the border. And both of them developed renewable energy installations. Énergie partagée en Alsace has photovoltaic installations on roofs in France, in Alsace, in our region. And FESA Geno developed photovoltaic and wind installations as well in the west of Germany as in the whole country. Actually, they are very quick to develop, and they have projects in all Germany. And they came one day to talk together, people from FESA and people from Énergie partagée en Alsace. And they were really interested because in Germany, as electricity is way more expensive than in France, a lot of people want to participate in energy cooperatives. So FESA Geno has a lot of money from people that invest in the cooperative. And in Germany, a lot of roofs of places are already equipped with photovoltaic installations, whereas in France, we have a lot of potential places with no photovoltaic installations. So there was potential in France to develop new photovoltaic projects. It means that in one country, we had a lot of money. In the other country, we had a lot of potentials. So the both energy communities decided to create an entity together to mix the potentials and money from both countries and to have new projects from both sides of the border. As you can see, they created Altora with money from Germany. FESA brought 50% of the investment of the capital. Énergie partagée en Alsace brought only 5%, but they also they are very in contact with a French investment fund dedicated to energy community that is called Énergie partagée investissement. And so they could also bring Énergie partagée investissement in this Altora company, so that half of the capital was from Germany and half of the capital was from France. And with this total investment, they were able to go to banks and to invest in several projects in France. The first one was this picture that we had on the precedent slide. Zusammen Solar means together solar in German, and also in the Alsatisch dialect. And this first project was really a first French-German renewable energy project made by citizens. It's in Colmar, in our region. And then they were able also to develop other projects. In Itlenheim was the second one. And then they also found potential in other places in France, always in France, as like Fran, who was developed a few years ago. And now one member of the German cooperatives moved to west of France, to Bretagne. And so he also was able to find a new projects in Bretagne, in west of France. So this is an example where, just like Anouk presented, we don't have a full cross-border energy community. We have a quasi cross-border energy community because all the projects are in France, but the capital, the investment, comes as well from Germany as from France. It's a first step to do something together and also to share competences, because when you have to install a project in France, the cooperative Énergie partagée en Alsace was way more competent about administrative and legal issues, but the German from FESA were very powerful in terms of technical competencies, so they were able to brought good knowledge in PV installations. So it was a very good cooperation between the two cooperatives. I wanted also to show you a second example because it's not fully done yet, but I am supporting these projects to be created, and it's a good way to see how complicated it can be, but also how enthusiastic. We have this small part of our region in France. This is an administrative part that we call PETR. Doesn't matter, but this administrative entity is very similar to this German administrative entity, the Landkreis, and they work very good together. So in 2023, Alsace Centrale, the French part, and Emmendingen, the German part, the authorities launched a project to support cross-border citizen participation in ecological transition projects. There were projects about food, about agriculture, about biodiversity, but also about energy. And during these 3 years projects, at the beginning of the projects, we identified the idea of creating a cross-border energy community. It was in May 2023. During these projects, Rheinverbindlich means cooperation between over the Rhine. There were a lot of meetings with the people, the citizens interested in cross-border cooperation about energy. We had a webinar from Altura to present their experience. There were and there was a visit in Muttersholz, in France, where one energy community is established. We can see on the picture this is a former hydropower plant constructed by the German when they were in Alsace. It means like last century. Last century, Alsace was German, and the German constructed this hydropower plant in Muttersholz. Now Muttersholz is in France, and the municipality of Muttersholz recreated the hydropower plant. And the proposition was that a PV installation could be set up on the roof of the building, and it would be very meaningful to have a French-German cooperation for this PV installation. So the idea of a cross-border energy community was very attractive to develop such a project. And then it needed, well, Anouk just talked about this call for cross-border energy community. The Mission Opérationnelle Transfrontalière support now several cross-border energy community through this call for projects. And this was the opportunity for us to relaunch this idea of a partnership, because actually, when you don't have an incentive, it's difficult to mobilize the citizen to come together. One of our greatest obstacle is the language, because we have French and German speaking together, and a few of them only can speak the other language. I found it very difficult with 2 languages, so I'm very impressed with this today webinar with 3 languages. So congratulations for the organization. But I identify it really as an obstacle for cross-border cooperation, because you have to have a translation, and as long as and when you want to have some interesting exchange between citizens across the border, it's very difficult to always have a translation in between. So yeah, it's a point we have to be very careful to have always translation, and the easiest possible. But then now the people from this energy community in France and another one in Germany, they are called CVAC is a Centrale Villageoise d'Alsace Centrale. It's the French energy community. And BK is the Bürger Energiegenossenschaft Kaiserstuhl. It's the German energy community. And now they really want to cooperate together to create new projects. Both of them have identified potential projects in France and in Germany that they could develop together. And there is even the idea now of share energy between both countries. Well, like Anouk said, it's very difficult because of the grid connection. There is no low voltage grid connection between France and Germany, of course, unfortunately. But maybe there is a possibility to have a common entity selling energy in both countries. We hope we can find a legal, if not technical, solution to share energy. And then it would be a full cross-border energy community sharing energy in both countries. But, well, let's see, because it won't be easy. The first next step is to have a meeting. It's next week, actually. And we will have each energy community taking part in the other. And then they plan to develop those first production projects, and we'll see if we can share energy. What I want to stress also is that the idea emerged in 2023, and we are having this meeting in 2026 just to have a first step of concrete cooperation. So we must have patience because it is not easy to create a cross-border energy community. But as we saw before, it is possible. So I think, yes, we can do it, and you also can do it. So I hope you find also the potential to create something, and it will inspire Poland and Czechia to create cross-border cooperation in energy. I am.
Okay. Thank you very, very much for our speakers for such interesting presentation and very valuable insights today. At the end, I would like also, before questions, possible questions, I would like also to emphasize that this webinar was a part of the cross-border energy project, which we are implementing together with our Czech partner ENERKOM Jablunkovsko. Mr. Peter, maybe you show yourself and say a few words if you would like. Mr. Petr Karlubik? Odgłośnisz mi pana Piotra? Petr Karlubik.
Ale to u siebie wyciszamy, musi sobie sam już.
Okay, so if anyone has a question, that would be the good moment. I don't hear any. Okay.
Já jenom za českého partnera taky děkuju za zajímavé přednášky a zajímavý náhled na německo-francouzskou spolupráci. A to asi za mě prozatím bychom rádi slyšeli nějaké dotazy z pléna, jestli jsou nebo nejsou. No, jestli můžu poprosit o překlad, tak by to bylo.
Poprosimy panią Pawle o przetłumaczenie.
nie, tego co zgłosić.
I jeśli można prosić później również albo angielskie tłumaczenie, tak żeby pani Colin i Januk mogły.
Dzień dobry. Jeśli można, chciałbym dopytać, jeśli chodzi o te nasze społeczności energetyczne, jak one funkcjonują w stosunku do istniejących sieci dystrybucyjnych w kraju? Czy ci członkowie są od nich odcięci i tworzą niezależne takie wyspy energetyczne? Czy to jakoś się uzupełnia wzajemnie?
Weźmiemy.
If there's about questions, I would like to ask to maybe read them. Will be much easier to answer. But if you could please, Paula, right now translate it to English. Firstly, what Peter said, and then the question. I will be
Okay,
very...
I can ask the question in English about the energy community that are already set up in Germany and in France. How are they functioning related to existing energy grid that is owned by some big corporation? Do they have their own grid? Are they separate entity, or do they have to be connected to the official grid and they exchange some portion of energy?
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the translation. Maybe I'll answer, Anouk. Yeah. I know better the framework in France, but it's also the same in Germany, most of them. We have a public grid. The electricity grid is publicly owned, and everyone that wants to connect to the grid can ask for a connection. Energy communities, when they install some, for example, photovoltaic installation, they can ask to be connected to the grid, and they have a first option. It is to sell the electricity to our through a national incentive framework, so that they can sell electricity to a different supplier. And then they also can share electricity with the neighbors. And this is not the case in Germany. This is only in France. We have this collective self-consumption framework through which when you put the electricity into the grid, you can then sell it to your neighbors. You can have a contract with people in a geographical perimeter of 2 kilometers. And in this perimeter, you can have anyone consuming your electricity, and you produce it and you sell it to them, or you offer it if you want to. So this is, I know that this is specific in France. It does exist in Spain. We have also a framework in Italy. I don't know for all the countries, but I know, for example, that it is not possible in Germany. And they are trying to find other ways. Some energy communities became energy supplier. There are in Germany some energy community that buy electricity from other energy communities and then sell it to any citizen. So this is a kind of other solution to share electricity when the framework, the legal framework, doesn't allow it. I hope it answered the question.
Okay, and if I may ask another question, if the community is selling the energy directly to its participants or to its neighbors, who is deciding what's the energy price Because I don't know if you are selling with the market prices, lower prices, or higher. And also another question, since it's a green energy, do you provide the green energy certificate with while selling the energy?
First question, the price is decided by the producer. It is very interesting. You can set the price you want, but actually the big energy supplier conduct the energy prices on the market, because our energy communities, they cannot provide 100% of the electricity you need. For example, when you produce with solar energy, you cannot propose electricity during the night, or you store, but right now they don't. So for example, I am member of an energy community, and I want to buy electricity from the energy community, but I still have to get the electricity from my former supplier for the night, for the moment where there isn't enough. So if you want to have interested people buying your electricity, you still have to align more or less with the market price. Elsewise, it's difficult to find consumers, even if it's always interesting to see that some people are really interested in developing first renewable energy and then also citizen energy. So some of them are ready to pay a bit more to be sure that the energy community can develop the projects to ensure that it will continue and develop. So it's always a question of who is ready to buy, of course, market decisions, but also of what you propose as services, not only cheap electricity, but also green or citizen electricity is something else. And then for the green certificates, as for now, our energy communities doesn't really go in that direction. But because I think the main reason is that the green certificates separates the real electricity from the thing that it is renewable energy. And for the energy community, it's very important to have an identification of the produced energy and the consumed energy. So if they want to separate the green certificate and their kilowatt hours, they will lose something in their electricity, if I can express myself like that. They can sell electricity on the market and then sell the green certificate on another market, but it is I think it has no meaning for our energy communities to separate it, if you see what I mean.
Okay, thank you for the explanation.
I don't know if anyone has more questions. If you do, please write them.
Maybe I would have a question if you.
Yes, of course.
Is there something in Poland or in Czechia like energy community that I don't know of, how could citizens get involved in energy production, consumption, selling?
Mostly we have the energy communities inside Poland. We don't have right now legal possibilities to exchange this energy with Czech Republic. Actually, we are also in the project of cross-border energy doing the studies about the legal obstacles, about the situation in Czech Republic and in the situation in Poland, and we like to find some solutions, how it's possible to work together. And in Poland, we don't have right now the communities with citizens, actually. It's more like between businesses, between
Territorial government?
With the territorial government.
Yeah, municipality.
Yes, exactly. This is the difficult word.
Sure.
And we don't have right now between the citizens. But there is possibility, of course, legal, but it's quite difficult. There is possibility, but actually technically and I don't know. Actually, I don't know. It's very. There are many obstacles in Poland with this energy communities. But we are working on it. That's why this project we are involved in, and we are so happy to hear so many good examples from France and from France-German border, because it's very. It shows possibilities that is possible, and that finally something is going to change.
Thank you. Okay.
I don't know if this answers your question well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe, exactly. Maybe Petr, you will say something about it.
Jeszcze drobne uzupełnienie, tylko ja nie dam rady po angielsku rozmawiać, tak może poproszę tłumaczy do...
Przetłumaczenie na angielski. Pani Pawlo, prosimy.
Tylko krótko, jeśli chodzi o czeską stronę, tak w Czechach działają już takie właśnie społeczności energetyczne. Które wymieniają między sobą właśnie energię. Mamy włączone jak gminy, firmy, tak i obywateli, domki rodzinne.
I have a question if Colleen and Anuk hears that, what our interpreter says. Yes? Oh, you heard. Great.
I teraz właśnie z polskimi partnerami będziemy próbowali jakoś znaleźć drogę, jak przesyłać energię przez granicę. I właśnie dziękujemy za przykłady z dzisiejszych prezentacji. And that's all from
Can I have a translation, please?
Yes, just. So you don't hear the translation, yes? Oh, okay.
So I will send on chat instruction how to change language.
So there will be on chat instruction how you to exactly.
I'm in the English channel, and I think there is no interpreter in the English channel. But whatever, it's okay.
Polish channel.
Should I switch to Polish?
Yes.
Okay, right. Now, yeah.
Nie słyszymy. Gdzie coś wydarza, tak?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't see any other questions. Yes. So I would like to sincerely thank also all participants for joining us, for your attention and for engagement throughout this webinar. We hope really that today's discussion has provided useful knowledge, inspiration and new perspective on the development of energy communities and cross-border cooperation. We truly appreciate your time and participation, and we hope this meeting will encourage further discussion and collaboration and exchange of ideas in the future. If really there are no other questions, I think we can thank you once again, Anouk and Colleen. It was really great, really interesting. You show us new vision. And we hope for further collaboration with you and contact with you. So thank you once again, and we can say goodbye and to see you soon all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
It was great.